Hello and welcome to CSIT 316, Web Development Using Content Management Systems. Welcome to the third session, which is installing and upgrading WordPress. Now in this session, you'll learn how to install and upgrade WordPress. You also learn how to install themes and plugins. Now these are the basic things you need in order to build your website. Now the learning objectives for this session is that students should be able to install WordPress onto their local computer and configure it successfully. They should be able to install and work with the various themes and plugins WordPress provides. You should be able to understand the importance of upgrading WordPress and then upgrade plugins when new versions are released. So we're going to start off with installing WordPress onto a computer, then we proceed to installing themes, then we install plugins, and then we upgrade WordPress. We will be using Larry Stephanie's Beginning WordPress 3, Make Great Websites the Easy Way. So we start off with the first topic for this session, which is installing WordPress onto a computer system. Now these are the things you need. You need a local server. You can use WAMP or XAMPP. You need PHP version 4.3 or higher, and then MySQL version 4.0 or higher. Now these are the basic steps for the installation. First of all, you need to install your local server, which is very straightforward when you are on a Windows machine or a Mac. You just have to follow the installation instruction given by the wizard and you're good to go. Now you need to start the server. Now after you started the server, you open PHP MyAdmin and create a database. This can be done by entering localhost /ch PHP MyAdmin in your browser once the server is started. Now, once the server is started, you'll be able to create a database inside your server. You visit www.wordpress.org and download the latest zip file for the WordPress package. Now, after the download, you extract the file and copy the WordPress folder into your localhost directory. Now, in most cases, if you're using XAMPP, you would have to copy it into your htdocs. If you're using WAMP, you copy it into www. Now you open the WordPress package in the browser by typing http://localhost, then / the folder name you gave to the extraction folder of your WordPress zipped file. Now you configure according to your database name and password. You run and install, log in admin panel, and visit the front end of your WordPress site and enjoy WordPress. The installation is very, very straightforward. So this is a snapshot of XAMPP after you have started your Apache server and your MySQL. Now you'll be given this feature once you have installed XAMPP successfully on your workstation. Now once you open PHP MyAdmin, which is done by typing http://localhost /PHP MyAdmin, you'll see a list of databases in your MySQL server. Click on databases and then type a database name that you prefer in the box provided. So you type your database name here and then you click on create, which is going to create a database for you. Now you visit the WordPress site by going to www.wordpress.org and then go to the downloads page and you see this download button, download WordPress 4.8. Once you click on it, it will download WordPress onto your local machine. And I think the size is just about 7.8 megabytes as of the time of this recording. Now, once you have downloaded the WordPress zip file, you extract it into your document root. And in this case, we are using XAMPP, so it will be in the htdocs folder under our XAMPP folder in our drive C. Now we have named ours WordPress. You can give it any name you want, but make sure that you store it inside your htdocs folder. Now go into your browser and type localhost / the name you gave to your WordPress extraction folder. In our case, we called it WordPress, so we'll just do localhost / WordPress, and then we are presented with an installation page where we are required to choose the language we want to use. Now we are going to use the English language, which is the default. English language, United States. Now you're presented with a configuration page. Now this is where you provide a database name. Now make sure you provide the name of the database you created as per what you saw in the previous slides. You supply the username of the database and then the password. Now it is very, very important that you supply the password. Now when you install your Apache server by default and your MySQL, the default username and password that comes is root, and then the password is nothing. There is no password with it. I encourage you to always set a password for your databases. Now the host will be localhost if you are doing that on your local machine. And if you want any prefixes to the tables that will be automatically generated by WordPress, you put it here. So this WP underscore will be appended to all tables that will be generated by WordPress into our WordPress test database. Now you provide some necessary details for the installation to take place. You need to provide the name of your site. By default, you have My WordPress, but you can name it anything you want. You provide a username that will serve as the username you use to log on to the admin panel of WordPress, as well as providing a password, and then a recovery email should be put in your email box. From there, we click on Install WordPress, and then once everything is successful, you will see the success message, and it will tell you WordPress has been installed. Thank you and enjoy. Now your username will be the username you chose, and then the password will be the password you chose. And then you can click on the login, which brings you to this particular screen. Then you enter your username and password you provided during the installation. Now once your login credentials are valid, you will be presented with the WordPress dashboard, which looks like this. You have Welcome to WordPress. We've assembled some links to get you started. You have Customize your site. You have Write your first blog post, Add an About page, View your site. The very common things you'll be doing with your website. Now on the left panel, we have some menus here. We have the Home, we have the Post, we have the Media, we have Pages, we have Comment, we have Appearance, we have Plugins, Users, Tools, and Settings. It's quite a handful, but one step at a time, you'll be able to understand the key features of WordPress and what each of these menus represent. Now let's look at how we install themes. We have already looked at what themes are. We are now going to look at how to install them in WordPress. Now to install a theme, you should have WordPress installed. Now that we have WordPress installed, that is out of the way, so we'll want to make it look good, because WordPress will give you a default theme, which I think you should download your own. There are some free themes out there that you can use for test purposes. So you can download the theme files and upload them to your WP content/themes folder. Now for our Apache server, we'll find this at C:\XAMPP htdocs WordPress WP content and themes. Now if you are using WAMP, you should find it in C:\WAMP www WordPress WP content /themes. If you also wish, you can use an automatic theme installer, which allows you to upload the theme and then just click on install, and it does the installation for you. Now from your dashboard, we visit Appearance, which is one of the menu items on the left panel. And once we visit Appearance, any theme that you have put in your themes folder in WP content will appear here. So we have a list of themes that we have on this our WordPress site. Now you see all currently installed themes as we've said. And then you have a search text box that allows you to search for themes by name. And you can click on the Add New button to install a new theme from the options provided. This makes WordPress use very, very easy and exciting. So we see the list of installed themes, and then we can install any other one we wish. So when you go to Appearance, Add Themes, you'll see Featured, Popular, Latest, Favorites. We go to the Feature Filter. Now we select the Feature Filter tab and check off a list of the features you want, and then we click Apply Filters. So that's what we do on this screen to apply the kind of filters you want. So for the layout, maybe you want a grid layout, you want 1 column, 2 column, you check that. For the features you want accessibility ready, and so on and so forth, the editor style, the custom menus, and all that. Now the subject, are you using it for a blog? Is it an e-commerce? Is it an educational website? Is it for entertainment? And so on and so forth. And then website and WordPress is going to do all that for you. Now we need to activate a theme now that we have installed. Now you can see that you can have multiple themes installed on your single WordPress website, but you can activate which of the themes you want and at any point in time. So what you do is that you see a list of themes installed under Appearance. You click on the theme's thumbnail image to see the preview of the theme on your site. Then if you like it, you can activate the theme by clicking Activate. Very straightforward and simple. Now you hover to your site title and click Visit Site to see how the theme looks. It's on the top left corner of your screen, and it will have the name you gave to your WordPress site. And this is an example of the Activator site we are using for this presentation. Now let's go on to look at how to install plugins. Now while WordPress includes most of the features you want to have on your basic site, sooner or later you probably find that you want something more. You can visit www.wordpress.org/extend/plugins to see the things. Over 9,000 plugins available to you to add to your site. You can download the plugin files and upload them to your WP content/plugins folder, or you can just do the same as you did with the themes by just installing using an automatic plugin installer. So now let's look at how we install plugins. We go to the plugins menu item on the left sidebar or the left panel, and then we see Add Plugin. So we click on that and it presents us with this page. Once this page is loaded, we see the featured plugins. We can search for plugins using the search bar, and then once we like the plugin, we can either view more details about the plugin or we can install the plugin. Very simple and straightforward. So as I mentioned earlier, you can search for plugins by keyword or the author name. Once the plugin is installed, it will appear in your plugin list. You can click Install if you want to install that plugin. Everything is very straightforward and the interface is very user-friendly. Now, after the plugins are installed, you need to activate them. So you come to Plugins on the left panel as well. Go to Installed Plugins and it will display a list of all the plugins that you have installed on your website, WordPress website. So then you scroll through and then look for the one you want to activate and then just click Activate. You can edit a plugin or you can just delete it. Now we'll have a simple assignment for you, which is to read on the various plugins and what they are used for, and then try your hands on them. Basically, all the things you need for WordPress at this point is free of charge. So go online, download XAMPP or WAMP, depending on your preference, then install it, download WordPress from wordpress.org, the zip, extract it, do all the necessary configurations, and play around with it a bit. It helps you understand it better. Now, how do we upgrade WordPress? New releases are coming out almost every 4 months or so, as we mentioned in our first lecture. Now, assuming you have an older version of WordPress, how do you go ahead to upgrade WordPress? First of all, we need to know why it's important to even stay with the current version. Now, it's important to stay with the current version and new releases. In addition to providing you with the new features, the updated version often includes correction for the newly discovered security problems. Security is very key in website development. Also, keeping your installation up to date is the most important thing you can do to prevent your site from being hacked. Also talks about security. Then when a new version of WordPress is available, you see a banner message on every administration screen, which tells you to download and install the latest version of WordPress. New versions of plugins are often released as well, and they will contain new features, security improvements, and compatibility with newer versions of WordPress. So you can upgrade the plugins one at a time, or you can use the bulk upgrade feature provided in WordPress to do all of them at once. Great feature. So with the bulk upgrade, we put a check mark next to the plugin names, as we saw on the plugin list by going to plugins and then installed plugins. After putting a check mark next to the plugin names, then choose upgrade from the bulk buttons drop down at the bottom of the plugins list. Now, WordPress will place your site into maintenance mode automatically, and then upgrade of each plugin will happen. You will see a running status report as each plugin is upgraded. Thank you very much for staying with us. I hope you had fun with this session. You've learned a lot about WordPress, and I'll see you in the next session.